Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So that thing that the radical leftists oftentimes say isn't actually happening, but we that are, people of common sense and conservative leaning, that sort of thing that have been saying that it's been happening for quite some time and consistently seemingly happens, especially to those that are on the radical left that gaslight us all and say that it's not actually happening. It keeps on happening time and time and time again. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the likes of LGBT whatever activists that abuse and R-word the likes of little innocent young kids. And you know what I think about those sorts of individuals? And some of you may agree with me, some of you may not. You're more than welcome to not agree with me. It's totally fine with me if you don't agree with me. But I don't think that these people should be breathing the exact same air that you and I are breathing. They don't deserve to be living on this earth knowing full well that what they are doing is taking away a child's innocence, which is so incredibly despicable and evil. It's really hard to actually explain. And then you have these people that are super complicit in the matter and they gaslight the living hell out of each and every one of us that are saying this needs to stop, but they'll say, oh, it's not happening. It's not continuously happening. What are you talking about? So recently, over in France, and we wouldn't have stories like this, I'll have you know, if it weren't for great news companies like Redux that report on this horrific stuff every single day. And that's where this story is coming from, because the mainstream media won't report on any of this. They won't. Why would they? It doesn't appeal to their narrative. But we've got the other news sources that we can actually rely on and know that what they're telling us is in fact the truth, and they're exposing these horrendously evil people. And I'm glad that someone else out there is actually doing it as well. And I'll continue to relay what they're doing and give them credit where credit is due. So a prominent LGBT whatever activist has been arrested in France for R-wording a handicapped, so a disabled young girl, 4 years old she was, who he was fostering and running a PDF file ring in Europe. This story is honestly unbelievable, but it is actually happening, believe it or not. A prominent LGBT whatever activist has been recently arrested on charges that include the R-word of a 4-year-old girl, has been discovered to have organized a PDF file network in France. So it wasn't bad enough that he R-worded an innocent young girl, but he's also created and established a ring for more and more of these sick, twisted, vile humans to do this sort of stuff to the likes of innocent young kids. Honestly, I am trying to understand why these people are still able to breathe the same air that you and I breathe. Sure, they're in prison, but you know what? We're paying for them to be there. It's like, why are we paying for these people to eat, drink, sleep, breathe, for example? Why are we paying for any of that sort of stuff, knowing full well what they've done to the likes of goodness knows how many innocent young kids? An investigation conducted by the Office of Minors, a newly created branch of the French National Police, has uncovered a PDF file network that extends from the Loire and Atlantic region to Belgium. Reporting on the revelations, La Parisienne neglected to name LGBT activist Pierre-Alain Cotigneau as leader of the criminal organization, choosing instead to refer to him as a 32-year-old family assistant in Loire Atlantique. Cotigneau, I think his name is, was well known in Loire Atlantique for his political activism. I'm sorry for all my French followers. If anyone can speak French, I'm butchering it. I know that I am. I apologize. Which included advocacy for the LGBT community, youth, and minority populations. So it seems like the LGBT whatever is like a front or a cover for people to be able to do this sort of horrendous stuff, because they, you know what? They think that this isn't a crime. They think this is part of their identity, which is also insane, because you have a lot of these psychologists and experts that say that these people are just minor attracted individuals. They're attracted to the likes of 4-year-old little girls. So it's a It's a sexual attraction, ladies and gentlemen, according to these so-called experts. And by the way, if an expert is saying that it's okay to be attracted to a 4-year-old child and then act upon it, which most people do, or even just being attracted to a 4-year-old child, you've got a significant issue on your hands, and they also need to be thrown in prison as well, because you don't want to trust them one little bit. So in 2021, he stood for Department of Elections under the banner of La France Insoumise, LFI, a left-wing political party that has a hardline zero tolerance policy on being sexist, racist, anti-Semitic, or LGBT phobic, whatever, remarks or behavior amongst its members. Well, how about that? Continue, a professional caregiver and family aide, co-founded multiple activist organizations, including the Odin Solitary and Mutual Aid Collective, as well as the LGBT whatever association of ANSYS. In 2018, Continue was elected president of the Rainbow Shelter. Mate, you can't make any of these names up, can you? You just these people are nuts. And hosted the community's first ever forum to combat homophobia and transphobia. In addition to his LGBT whatever activism, Continue was a member of the Association of Lily. So it seems like he's part of all these different organizations, right? So he's been part of these organizations for quite some time. He's a prominent member, and lo and behold, he's running a criminal organization behind the scenes. As if people didn't actually know that were part of these organizations that he's a part of, as if no one knew what he was doing behind the scenes. Like, is he that secretive about it? Because I guarantee you, people like this that have got something twisted and evil to hide, he's got no racism, no sexism, no judgment policy. I guarantee you he would have spoken about this to someone in the company or someone in the organizations. So a judicial review is underway at the Nantes court regarding OF Min's investigation. Among the horrific discoveries, the R word of very young children, including infants. For goodness sake, why is this man still alive? Infants, man. Victims being targeted in the professional environment of a suspect. Oh boy, I can't even read that out. Can't even read that part out, man. But it involves disgusting group of young kids being R-worded by groups of men. Like, and it's been broadcasted on the dark net, and suspicions of drugging victims as well. A total of 4 suspects in addition to Continue have been arrested to date. Among them is a man who has been convicted of the homicide and R-word of minors in Belgium. Law enforcement officials from several European countries were able to identify the suspects by analyzing child, abuse videos online. They are facing life imprisonment for the R-word of minors. Not good enough. Acts of torture and barbarism committed against minors and human trafficking in an organized gang. Not good enough to watch these people rot away in prison. No, that's not good enough. That's way too good for people like this. They should be put down immediately. Like, they don't deserve to live and to breathe. Like I've said it many times already. Doing this stuff, how can anyone, a judge, say that this is justice? Oh, justice has been achieved, people. We're putting them in prison for life. They're never going to hurt anybody again. Like, no. You know what I think actually helps to stop people from doing this is the fear that their life is on the line. Personally, not just like life imprisonment, life on the line. I'm talking about their actual life. Like, there's a reason why we used to have the death penalty for people like this. Makes sense, right? Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care. Be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.